how we can eradicate, this problem of ghost worker. Yeah, before yesterday with my colleagues, we were going through some of the facts about ghost workers and the effort governments at different level, things they've done times without number to eradicate it. But it became obvious that it's actually like a revolving door. When you get some people out of the system, another set of ghost workers are also coming in. So that's how bad things are. So on this conversation today, I have my colleagues. The first one that we are all familiar with, my adorable, beautiful Thelma. Thelma, please say hello to the house.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I believe we're going to have a very productive section. Thank you.
So Thelma will speak after me. She's actually going to delve into what we found out, the problem, the way we see it at different state level, right? These issues still exist. It's a major issue both at the local government is, the problem at that level is extraordinary. State government, the problem exists. Forget about whatever you've seen on the dailies that, we've discovered X number of ghost workers. It's reoccurring. Same at the federal level. Taufik Fagbemi, is actually the one that would share with us the solutions we believe can help us put an end to this problem, right? How can we move away from getting some ghost workers? It's as if the same set of people we are getting out are the ones that are coming back to the system. So we'll look at this and we can all contribute at the end of our presentation on how we can really address this problem once and for all. My first point of emphasis, because I looked at some reports we saw, 4 states, we looked at 4 states, Akwa Ibom, Nasarawa, Kano, and Benue. We worked with that because they didn't just share the number of ghost workers that they discovered. They also went as far as what amount they saved monthly for the number of ghost workers that they discovered. If you look at the average of ghost worker, looking at the 4 states, we were looking at average of 10%. 10% of what government at this level are paying, paying our salaries to employees that doesn't exist. These are issues that we were facing at different levels. But there was also another report of 10 states that in 5 years they've spent in excess of 335 billion, dealing with ghost workers. These issues exist, and there's no way we can talk about development as a country if we don't address these issues of ghost worker. How can we, because currently now, the approach for government is that we've moved away from having employees that doesn't exist at all. The process now is there's a monthly verification exercise, which most state governments, have in place. As a civil servant, you are expected to show up once a month to be verified. Unfortunately, what that system has created is a system that people only show up for work once a month, verify they exist, and they would expect money in their bank account on a monthly basis. Now, if you now put a value to this absenteeism that we have in our system, it simply means that, governments are, on a monthly basis are just giving out money for people that are doing nothing. I mean, some of the analysis that Thelma will share with us would also show us how government on a monthly basis, I mean, if you look at the budget of the different states we have, for a state like Kaduna complained that 94% of, I mean, about 84% to 96% of what they have as federal allocation is going into servicing salaries. So the question is 3.37%. What is that going to do in running a state? These are major issues. And civil servants are, I mean, are just less than 5% of the state's population. This is the case of virtually all states in Nigeria, all local governments in Nigeria. There was one experience I have, I mean, somewhere, one local government in Lagos. A family friend got appointed as an executive, as the administrator of a local government chairman, and his tenure was just for 3 months. Upon arrival, one of the first things that was submitted to him is the list of people that different chiefs and obas within his local government that they want him, I mean, to employ. The interesting part of it is when these people are employed, the question is, what will they do when you also have people already in the system that are getting paid doing nothing? These are the issues, and this problem, this problem has solutions. We need to move away from monthly verification to a reoccurring verification. In the private sector today, everybody that comes to work are uniquely identified. They are known. And that verification happens on a daily basis because, you know, you have your JD that is clearly tied to your availability to work. This is not the case in civil service, and we just have to be part of, I mean, solving this problem. So again, like I said earlier, that Thelma would really bring out some of these issues that we observe, okay? And I mean, for us as a company, again, the same way we are trying to solve, we identify the problem. We also have solutions that we want to suggest, which is what Taufik will do for us. So I would ask Thelma to take it from here, to take us through some of these, I mean, serious issues that we observed. Thelma will do justice to this because, interestingly, she's also a seasoned and experienced HR consultant and HR manager. So Thelma, what is the effect of absenteeism, attendance to productivity, right? Is it possible for us to have a productive civil service if people are not showing up for work, or you have more than enough resources, right? I remember my first job in the civil service. In the ministry I was supposed to serve, we have about 13 of us attached to a small office. And what we have to work is just a desk and a chair. So Thelma, please, from an HR perspective, take us through this problem, and Taufik would now guide us on the different solutions on how to solve this problem.
Okay, thank you very much, Afo, for the opportunity. So to answer your question before I delve into the presentation, it is not possible to have a productive workforce or even achieve company goals and objectives when employees are not present at work, or are present at work, bodily present and mindly absent. Okay, so I mean, we've heard about ghost workers, ghost employees, and let me do justice to explaining who or what a ghost worker or ghost employee is. So first of all, I mean, the word ghost doesn't mean that they are dead or, you know, ghost in real terms. It's basically someone who is present but not present, so to speak. So a ghost worker can be referred to someone who is on a company's payroll but does not perform his or her obligation to that company. So meaning you're on the payroll as an employee, you come to work, you are faffing about, or you come to work once a week, once in a month, you know, or secondly, it can be somebody who has died or has left the company, I mean, resigned either through termination or dismissal, and their information still remains in the book of that company. Or maybe if entirely fictitious worker. So for example, you know, when you come to the civil service, there are some top management that will give you the list of people who will be on the payroll, who are not necessarily employees of the company, or just fictitious names that are added to the payroll and salaries go to these people. So these three categories are referred to as ghost workers. Now, this ghost workers profile are added to the payroll, hence defrauding the government. So you have people that come to work and they're not productive, somebody who has died or has left the company, or a fictitious worker, all added to the company's payroll, and they are receiving salaries, benefits, pension. And you know, with the state government, you have gratuities, you have pensions, you have some sort of allowances, you have bonuses, salaries in paid to these people. So you can imagine how much this amounts to. Now, having ghost workers on the payroll system has been a major source of fraud for government all over the world. And to be honest, you need to know the large sum of monies that are paid into these accounts. I mean, to non-existent employees, they're added on this payroll. Sometimes it can be as a result of mistake. I mean, some honest mistake where the person resigned and they were not taken off payroll. So I mean, so there's a verification in place that says, okay, after a certain time, this person is no longer active in the company and their profile is deleted, you won't have such situation. Okay, so now one major reason behind the rise in unqualified and non-eligible ghost workers in pension and benefit system is the lack of employee accountability. So unlike the private sectors where, like my boss mentioned, you have your JD, you've done our own job analysis, there's your JD. So meaning if you don't come to work today, it's obvious that this person did not come to work. He or she did not do what he or she is supposed to do. Hence, there's employee accountability in the private sector compared to the public sector, where I might just show up to work once a week. So I have a friend that says, you know me, I'm not in the private sector like you. I can go to work by 10 and leave by 2. It's because there is no employee accountability. This opens doors to corruption. You know, so payroll is easily manipulated, benefits, expenditures are manipulated, there are fictitious numbers on the payroll, and then governments keep doling out some revenues to address this issue, not knowing that, I mean, we have majority of ghost workers on the payroll. Now, individual salary and benefits disbursement may appear very small at first. So you're saying, okay, how much is government paying to government staff? Oh, the money is very small. But by the time you calculate it by the number of ghost workers you have on that payroll, and over a period of time, you will notice how many millions and billions. I will throw more light on the billions we're spending on our salaries, even in a state that cannot even afford a minimum wage, the previous minimum wage of 18.5. Okay, now let's take a look at some screaming headlines. You see 46,639 ghost workers in the federal civil service. I mean, when you hear the billions being spent on these things, you marvel. And then in such states, if you look at the education system, their medical system, their health system, it's in shambles. By the time you see all this in the newspaper, you're asking yourself, what is happening? What is the economy doing? I mean, this ghost worker syndrome is really telling a whole lot on our economy. This is how BVN exposed 23,000 ghost workers. I mean, with the introduction of bank verification, now you must be there, you must match your name, your date of birth, your fingerprints and all. You can imagine the numbers being exposed, and this does not tell on our economy. Okay, so let me take us through a journey across some sample states in Nigeria with screaming figures that are scary. I mean, researching on this, I became worried as to how do we solve this Herculean issue that we've been having. So take Gombe, for example. Gombe discovered 668 ghost workers and it saved them 37 million naira. This is in a month, not in a year. So if you multiply 37 million by a year, you can imagine by 12, and then you know how much is being saved by doing this. So how did they do that? They came up with an enrollment that individuals have to come to verify personally before they can get paid. And these numbers were detected in mostly MDAs, the ministries, the departments, and the agencies. You have quite a number of ghost workers working there. Again, the Ekiti state government uncovered 362 ghost workers. This was premium times in November 2020. And just this 362 ghost workers, beg your pardon, amounted to 20 million naira in a month. 20 times 12, you know how much is being saved just on 362 ghost workers. Then Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State in 2021, he disapproved of ghost workers. So they found that they had ghost workers collecting salaries and ghost pensioners. Can you imagine what that will do to a state? So what he said was, if you know you've not received your salary, come to the government house, present yourself with employment details so that you get paid. By doing that, a lot of people did not show. Take Borno, for example. 19 local governments out of 27 local governments was verified. And we know that Borno cannot, they've been struggling to pay the 18.5 minimum wage, talk more of the new 30,000 naira minimum wage. And then you uncovered 1.8 billion per annum. That's about, how many million per month? 150 million naira per month. So this was saved by discovering ghost workers working in the states. So, and I read somewhere that this 1.8 billion is what they had set aside, what they had budgeted to put in water projects for 27 local governments. And then you're spending it on ghost workers. Recall, they are struggling to pay 18.5, saying that salaries are bogus amounts when 1.8 billion is going to ghost workers. Then come to Benue. So in Benue, 8,000 ghost workers were discovered, Vanguard 2015, and 400 million was saved in 1 month by doing this. Osun State discovered 71 ghost workers. Of these 71 ghost workers, 39 of them are deceased. So imagine you have 39 dead people on payroll and salaries are going to them. Of course, there are still top managements that have a way of siphoning this money is going to these deceased employees to themselves. The issues continue. Nigeria has removed about 23,846 employees from the government payroll after an official audit revealed that those employees don't exist. And then we're coming to the Nigerian police. They were not left out. So as at the time of this publication, 371,800 policemen, were counted as part of the employees of the 42 police command force. And after the integration of the IPPIS, I believe some of us know that the integrated payroll system, the staff counts dropped to 291, showing that 80,000 among them were ghost workers. And in 2016, 97 billion was saved as a result of this action. 2017, 110 billion was saved after the initiative, the presidential initiative on continuous audits, PICA, detected the ghost workers. Again, ghost workers were probed in 2018, about 208 billion saved. And the numbers, the numbers are just continuous and quite scary. So other issues are, in an average organization, about 20% of these employees come to work late at least once a week. And then in the public sector, 20 to 40% of employees come late on a daily basis. There's no accountability system, nobody to check them. There's nothing to track their attendance and their productivity at work. You have 20 to 40% coming late on a daily basis. So tell me how this sector will be productive. Tell me how things are going to get done. If you have 10 employees and 4 of them come to work late on a daily basis, so how will they be productive? Now, 10 to 15% of employees are absent without tenable excuses. So people saying, oh, there's traffic, oh, I wasn't feeling fine, and just various excuses, and then the organization continues to suffer. Now, the implication of this is that, let's take Benue State as an example, as mentioned before by my boss in the slide. So if 44.4 billion goes to salaries, and then they have a total income of 54 billion, how much is left to run a state? And of this 44 billion, you have ghost workers who are not doing anything, who are not present at work, and they're collecting salaries. How will this state thrive? let's see the impact on the state's economy. So with over 19,000 civil service employees and 25,000 local government workers, Benue State spends 81% of its annual income on salaries. And then you're left with about 19% to run the state, to put in water, to put in electricity, to put in infrastructures. In effect, 18% of this workforce are ghost workers. So if ghost workers are gulping 8 billion that would have been channeled into something else, you can imagine why these states are suffering. Now, this situation continually makes the state unproductive. So you are funding recurring expenditure at the expense of other pressing needs of the state. There is continuous inability to fund capital projects because your funds are being misdirected. Then you find the government, they keep borrowing and asking all these billions, what are they doing with it? It's because it's going to ghost workers and they can't do what they're supposed to do in the state. Now, to curb tardiness and ghost working, tardiness means lateness, lateness at work. What is government doing? So the government has, integrated some initiative, brought in some initiative, such as the integrated payroll and personal information system, which is the IPPIS, which was used to fish out the ghost workers in the police sector. And that has saved us 97 billion in 2016 and 110 billion in 2017. Employment revalidation. So at this point, okay, come to the government house or come to civil service with your employment details, with your employment information for an update. And then you find that people will not come. Those people that don't come are the non-existent and the ghost workers that we're talking about. And this also has improved our way of curbing these ghost workers. However, like my boss mentioned, what will happen is that on the days of those employment validation, I will come and be present. Other days, I'll not come. So who is tracking? Nothing is being used to hold them accountable. Then mass sack. So imagine where, okay, because you think everywhere you have a lot of ghost workers, you sack half of the workforce, there will be labor outcry, there will be unrest. That means you're sending the masses back to being unemployed. Other issues still surrounding productivity. Can a company be productive when you have your employees absent? So people don't come to work, they call in sick, oh, I have a headache, oh, my child is this, oh, there's traffic, and they're absent. How will the goals of this organization be met? How will their objectives be met when employees are absent? Lateness, you have various issues, traffic days, or I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and they're late to work. How will they be productive? Productivity is tied to timeliness. So if you come in for work, let's say you resume work at 8 and then you come in at 7 or 7:15, you have about 45 minutes to close out on any deliverable you had pending a day before. So imagine if you're late and they are coming in all scattered. Sometimes they're walking in at 10, walking at 11, or just coming at 1 a.m., show face, what's happening, sign attendance and run away. How will that company be productive? Then you have the issues of body punching. Okay, so I'll just call my friend. Hello, Nkechi. I won't come to work today. Please help me sign my name. And Nkechi will sign the name. And when it's time to make payments, okay, my name is on the list and I was not at work. So you find your colleagues or friends working in the same company punching in for the individual. You have staff swapping. Okay, can you work my shifts for me? Can you work my time for me? Remember, that person that is working the time for the other person will experience burnout. So you've done your own shift, you're working another person's shift, you experience burnout and you'll be less productive. While the other lady or man is somewhere having fun, at the end of the day, he or she will get paid. And there's an issue of presenteeism. So I'm in the office, I'm bodily present because they say we should come to work. I'm sitting down in the office, my deliverables are not tracked, and I'm just there moping. I'm in the office, but I'm not working. So I'm just there faffing. So I'm being present, but I'm not doing anything. So these are the issues that we're facing in the public sector. And how do we curb these issues? If we really want to see a productive Nigeria, it starts with us. If we really want to see a productive company, we have to put things in place to curb this ghost working menace we've been going through. So I'm going to move on to allowing my colleague, Mr. Taufik, having talked about the issues, to give us the solution on how to solve this ghost working once and for all. And just to round off, the impact of ghost workers is that it reduces economic growth, it affects our economic growth, it reduces our effectiveness, and it reduces the effectiveness of the public spend because funds have gone to ghost workers who don't deserve it. And again, it mars the state's credibility. So thank you very much for listening. I'll allow Taufik to share his screen and give us the solution to solve this ghost worker syndrome once and for all.
Yes, Thelma, thank you for your time. While we're waiting for Taufik to share his screen, you know, so there's something that piqued my interest, right? You know, in your presentation, okay? Government at different level understands this problem, and they've implemented different strategies to address these issues, right? But my headache and worry is around the last 3 points that you shared, okay? Yes, you verify people on a monthly basis, okay? You know, and these people verified, they are only verified for the sake of getting paid. Now, if there's anything I appreciated about solutions that I've been part of in the last 10 years in Nigeria is when you get people to work by daily verification through attendance, uniquely identifying them. From an HR manager standpoint or a direct manager standpoint, you know, it makes it obvious to you that you have people that has work to do. Mere seeing them, understanding that, I mean, these people are here to work, you know, I mean, makes it compelling for you to put them to work, and consciously or unconsciously, you're getting productivity by virtue of bringing people to work. You understand? Yes. So I just want you to quickly re-emphasize the importance of that from an HR manager standpoint, while Taufik will roll in after you.
Okay, so treating this from a HR standpoint, let's start with the corporate objective. So every company has their own objective, which has been set out for the year. And then that corporate objective is cascaded down to department objective. So with all the departments in this company, all the divisions in this company, how do you plug into the corporate goal? And that same departmental objective is cascaded down to individuals. So the team members in this department, the employees in this department, how do you plug into your departmental goal, which in turn culminates to the corporate goal? So that is why from a HR standpoint, you have something called job analysis. So you've looked at all the jobs, all the things that are required to be done in this company. You map out people's job description and people's specification. So you get people into your company with their job description, what they're supposed to do, their expectations, their KPIs. So for this week, you're supposed to deliver on X, Y, Z. And it's clear. This individual reports to work, comes to work, attendance is taken, he clocks in to say, okay, I'm at work today and I came in at a social time before the resumption time. Because he or she is now accountable of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deliverables that he or she is supposed to work on, delivers to expectation, the manager reviews, the team member reviews, and everybody's happy. So if there is no accountable means of tracking attendance, which is tied to productivity by delivering on our agreed KPIs, how do you get the company to survive? How do you get the corporate goals to be met? So just to reiterate, if you have a policy in place, a tracking device in place that tracks employees being present at work and punctuality to work in line with he or she's deliverable, the company will achieve their corporate goals.
Thank you, Thelma. Taufik, you have the floor now. Thelma, please help me note this. Right after Taufik, I would want you to unmute Mr. Uche Onwudiwe. Okay. I also would want him to, Uche, please be on standby. We want to hear from you and learn from your experience working with civil servants. Taufik, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Afo. Thelma, well done for the good job done. It's been a roller coaster of ideas and exposure into realities of government and wastage within the civil service as far as productivity is concerned, issue of ghost working and all that. And there's no arguing the fact that technology has actually taken the center stage in solving human problem in the present world. And of course, as far as this is concerned, government agencies should not be an exemption. Reasonably, as having highlighted by my colleague Telma, government has actually made reasonable effort in trying to introduce the BVN, which is actually an offshoot of technology solution, introducing the IP's payment system. You understand? So, but as far as these solutions are concerned, they are limited to payment as a way to save a government from repeatedly paying ghost workers. But beyond that, when we actually look at a payment, how do we further validate into even those who are present, how much are they productive, right? Even those who are present, who have actually scaled through the hurdles of getting to the IP system or the payment system that are considered not to be ghost worker, how are we sure that they are not just being validated for the purpose of payments and the cycle of monthly revalidation continues? So there comes the need to look at solutions that would effectively tackle this number one, attendance, tackle employees' tardiness in the workplace, tackle ghost worker syndrome, as it were. So we have actually come together after several brainstorming and try to consider this as a topic. So we present from the ZKTeco point of view our solution. So we have several solutions designed for biometric verifications in all sorts. But then we are actually coming with intelligent biotime. We call it Sprout Intelligent Biotime solution. This solution is actually a smart cloud-based driven business management system, basically for effective and secure business deals, transactions, as well as data management, managing data of staff, managing data of employees and organizations as it were. The system offers innovative function for running the successful and productive businesses. Beyond the time attendance, we're actually looking at productivity within the workplace. And we look at a holistic solution that will work with an existing solution that different governments from different states have been able to design to reasonably make their system work. I was actually reading a report while researching this. Most state governments actually came to confess the fact that they are putting some solutions in place, but unfortunately, this system have actually been compromised by internal elements within the system. I mean, you just have a software running on its own without any form of hard validation into whatever software they are running. So I mean, we actually need an all-round solution, and we are coming with this intelligent time solution to come to the rescue. We are looking at what can this solution offer in addition to the housing workforce information. The solution will provide detailed, the solution will actually provide a detailed platform to track employees, the attendance, the efficiency of the workforce, monitor the staff resumption time, their departure time. As been mentioned by my HR, you be able to actually mention the work hour, be able to track the work hour. An employee has actually claimed to work, in an organization for like 30 days. You want to confirm truly he comes to work every time that he claims to come to work. He comes to work at the right time when he is actually meant to be at the office. These are collated at the end of the month, automated within the system, and provide a viral feedback to be able to provide a payroll system that is very transparent even to the employee and of course the employers as it were. This will definitely increase workforce productivity, enhance work efficiency in the workplace, and of course, bring about dedicated workforce. There's this feeling that you can actually imagine if you be in a system where you are acting, you are to embark on a task, and camera is watching you somewhere. The way the body language, the way you attend to that task will definitely be different from when, of course, nothing's actually, there to monitor you. So same way, you're sure that the consciousness of the fact that you are getting to the workforce, there's a tracking system monitoring your movements, monitoring your attendance. Is there enough consciousness to know that okay, you're actually in there to settle for the work of the day? And of course, this cycle continue every now and then, every month in, month out, within the workplace. And the fact, the differential advantage of this solution is the fact that it's biometric based. Research has actually confirmed that no biometric and no fingerprint is equal. So no palm recognition is actually equal. And to that extent, you're sure that the employee being validated for employment at every month in, month out is actually the same person clocking in from that device, and the same information is being fed into the database for further processing of productivity and work efficiency, as it were. Now, we now look at this solution. What does it offer in terms of uniqueness? So make it stand out outside the regular, the solutions that actually provide a payment validation alone is a web-based. We understand within the government parastatals, government is actually a whole circle of a system put together to make a state or country function properly. Now you have different people within different locations across different territories, within a state or within a country. Now, how do we be able to link what is happening within Ministry A, Ministry B, in state A, state B, in the case of federal governments, or in the case of local state governments, what is happening within different local governments? This solution provides a web-based system whereby the what is being done, the clocking being done in state A is being automatically captured and monitored with another zone entirely, and it's real-time online because the content, the solution is actually web-based. So each of the devices are talking to each other, and they can actually be monitored from the back end, from the software back end. It's auto-synchronized, the fingerprints, facial recognition, palm templates by area and by each of the workforce signing in through their fingerprints. It's a flexible solution. Smart and it's actually allowed for shift scheduling. You have a system where your employee is actually meant to run a work hour. Maybe I know government agencies are also used to weekend shifts. But in the case whereby we have weekend shifts, morning shifts, and all that, this system is so flexible to consider the different uniqueness of every parastatals and government agencies, as it were. Then it has the features of employee self-service. Right from the platform, each of the employee can actually, we're actually mentioning beyond payroll, beyond the time attendance. We are looking at productivity within the workplace. Right from, we are looking at several other items within, workforce system, in terms of appraisal, in terms of leave management and all that. Employee can, from their own seat, wherever they are, be able to operate the solution from their mobile devices, as it were. It has email alert for approval request. You are at one part of your office, say one location within the state, you are requesting for certain approval. You are making some certain requests. You get that from your mobile phone, and it's sent to whoever is the HR within your immediate supervisor or even the upper level approval, as it were. Then the email and the approval request and notification goes to whoever is meant to give such approval, and you have such approval being given from the superior. You have multiple administrative privileges. On this platform, you have, of course, HR system, work system, you have different level of subordinates and superior. This gives every right to everybody within the hierarchy in terms of what the privileges they have on the platform. The immediate superior has a validation to the extent of whatever his role permits. Then you have the HOD having different privileges within the system in terms of what you can actually approve or disapprove within the solution. Then you have it on and on like that. To the extent you have a super admin, he might actually be even the head of civil service, giving a final approval or final administrative privilege on some certain things. This solution allows for such differential in privileges. The multi-level approval, this actually in line with the different privileges granted on the platform. Then you have real-time monitoring. You can't, you can actually be anywhere within the part of the state, and you're sure you actually want to monitor, say Lagos, for example, you are at Alausa, you want to be sure of what somebody in Ikoyi or in any other part of the state civil service are doing. They are clocking in real time, it's being monitored right from so we have a case where government or governor has at some point left the office and said, okay, they actually want to validate who have come to the office in a certain day. They get to the office of maybe a school, for example, they get to the school early, realizing that almost half of the teachers in the school are not in school at 10 o'clock. You now imagine what kind of students they are bringing, they are raising in that school. You imagine what kind of productive workforce they have in such organization, in such civil service. Okay, so what now with this real-time monitoring, the governor can actually be in his office and try to torchlight his attendance, his check across any parastatals at any point in time, right from the seat wherever he is. So he doesn't have to, most of the time we actually go through that drama to actually be sure that, oh yeah, this person is working as it were. But then all this drama might not be necessary where, in the case of where the real-time monitoring system are allowed. Then you have attendance calculation and reports. Right from whoever is actually managing based on the privileges, the supervisor as it were, you have automated, attendance calculation where at the end of the month, at the end of the week, as it were, you have, total hours of numbers worked, within the organization, within the civil service system, and you can actually tell who is productive or not. The platform actually supports multi-languages. So most multi-language, and of course, the English language and all that is there, and can actually be adaptive to the reality of discussion on ground. Then we have easy integration. Easy integration, we have a lot of state governments using some solution before now. We have the IPs, for example, being used by federal government to manage payroll generally. This solution can actually integrate with such, making payroll possible through that platform still. Every payment system make it possible. Just we have the API integration with that solution, or any other solution for that matter, that might actually be existing in the state's civil service or state government circle, as it were. I mentioned the mobile app before. This solution can actually be downloaded, and you have every of the staff of government, civil servants having this solution being carried about on their mobile phone. So they can make requests, they can seek for exemption, and they get approval or disapproval right from the spot wherever they are. All these things are transmittable real-time online, right from the spot of operations to the central server, as it were. It's actually easily managed, right from one standpoint. Several devices are connected across several parastatals of the government. We have a schematic of how this solution can work. Let's give an example of ministry, say Ministry A being Ministry of say Environment, Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Education, and the likes. Each of these ministries are body of government or body of say company on their own with different sub-units within it. Say they have several departments and all that. So each of these units, each of these ministry can work independently from wherever they are, having been able to clock in, having their staff clock in and use the solution as it were. From the back end of the software, we have different settings to be able to adequately monitor all these sub-units and sub-locations across different units, and this information are centrally pulled from the central server or central administrative points of view. Each of these units, each of these ministries to have their own central repository within the system where information of time attendance and other related productivity and HR solution can be pulled up to for analysis, for at the end of the month, for payroll purposes, for appraisal purposes, for system check purposes, revalidation purposes and all that. So, and we have the central intelligence server housing each of these ministry into a central repository of control. Now, we are looking at the mobile app function ability. The real-time attendance with a geographical location is it has attendance approvals, real-time notification mentioned earlier. Right, just as you are making a request from the platform, you are getting instant notification, by whoever is giving the approving authority to this solution. Then we have a public and private announcement. You can actually have employees' birthday, wedding anniversary and all that. And because every of the staff within the ministry are carrying these devices, carrying the mobile app all around them, they get instant notification popping up on their system, on their phone, about what announcement is actually there within the ministry. Other announcements in terms of holidays, unique happenings within the ministries, announcements and all that will be happening real time online, and everybody can actually have direct access. I mean, nobody eventually can even deny, no, this message didn't get to me, my number was not going through and all that. It's real time, and monitoring can actually be online. Then easy operation, two-way navigation of the solution, the user-friendly interface for admin and employee, for whoever can actually use a simple device, a simple software as simple as Facebook can interact with this solution and be able to get a whole lot of experience around it. Then online employee requests and statuses are possible within the solution. Then we have, how does it work? We are looking at from the hard point of view. Say we have a Ministry of Defense, for example, or Ministry of Education, for example, having different subunits. We have, say they have 30 subunits. They have each of these devices in each of the subunits. The staff comes in at every point in time, every morning, for example, based on their shifts, they clock in, and the fingerprint of that staff is being captured. Once that capture is, it goes straight to the repository for attendance record. And this is just within the same seconds. Everybody's record is being pulled real time online across different locations. So, and this is being controlled within a central database system, where, of course, from the central point of view, each of the regional manager or state manager can get information across different subunits and be able to collect reports and decide on payments for such a ministry or for such information. Yeah. Now we're gonna see, beyond the fact that we have physical devices being mounted within the different workspaces, we have the mobile type for other ministry whose job might actually requires resuming from work. Let's say, for example, Ministry of Works, who sometimes may have to resume maybe from their house to the truck location where they have to resume to the street to begin to fix roads. That, for example, is a construction site as far as we are concerned. So they have the devices mobile, and from that point, they can actually clock in that device. The same way the device from every other location that are static in the offices are working is the same way this one will work. They clock in there, then it goes into the central repository of the server. Then, of course, the administrator can, from the back end, get the information for whatever purposes they want to use it for. Now, this is actually a sample dashboard of what is social. You're going to have several kind of reports. Reports, we want to have attendance or performance or productivity report for January, February, month in, month out, or for weekly, or maybe quarterly or yearly. You have different types of report being pulled out. You want to have a report for branch. You want to measure in terms of attendance or certain productivity or other metrics within the solution that you want to check about any part of the ministry. This is real-time online. You can get different graphs to validate your data and make necessary adjustment. You know which ministry are the most punctual, which ministry are the most productive, which ministry are the most active on the platform, as it were. So this comes in different charts, bars, and all that, and you can actually tell from that what decision had to be made. Then from even the central dashboard, you can monitor how many civil service we have real-time online. So in this case, that automatically or every day, you are validating your ghost worker status. I mean, you have 4,205 workers signing today out of say 6,000 workforce. Obviously, you can tell that about 1,800 staff are not at work that day or that minute when the clock is being pulled. So you can actually tell how many branches, branch location you have, on this platform. Then how many departments or within the ministries you have active on the platform and all sorts. Each of the you can actually pull reports based on each of the individual departments or civil service, across branches and so on and so forth. So you can pull reports based on department of civil service, based on each of the civil service units, based on their team and all that. And you can actually name different kind of reports that you want to get them in different charts and bar. So we are looking at how do we get this to the markets? Is a robust solution, and we are looking at reaching out to government directly as we speak. Some state governments are actually engaging us on this solution, and the model we actually adopt is making sure that everybody is aware of this information, of this solution, and every of our partners, for example, who has direct intent and connection within the state government, might actually want to suggest this at the state level to their government. I mean, government wants it's a serious issue they want to solve, serious problem they want to solve, but most of the time they are trying different solutions and it's not working well for them. Some of them have actually at some point tried time attendance solution before, but they see it's very, very ineffective because each of them are only monitoring or recording time based on the location there. But this is a whole solution that can capture events across the state within a second in terms of attendance and all that. The reports are actually written online. So we are collaborating directly with different local installers and integrators with our solution in the hope that, of course, they can actually reach out to their networks and see which of their governments might be interested in solving this legal problem in the immediate, in terms of how this affects their payroll, how this affects their work at the ministry and all that. So this end-to-end solution will go a long way in solving the problem, and we are actually counting that our collaborators, system integrators, solution provider, installers, partners in general would want to actually reach out within their cycle to see how this can serve them. So the enrollment, the process is actually a revalidation of biographical information right from the platform. Each of the employee have full information about them, including their fingerprint, their photos, their signatures, and all that, being validated on the states, also on the platform. And every day, by the virtue of the report being pulled, this is real time online. And I'm sure that can tell that a government, a civil servant that knows that there's a monitoring system checking him somewhere and can be actually pulled at any point in time, would do well by doing what he's actually employed to do without the effect of ghost working entirely removed from the state civil service. So you talk about duplicated registration is entirely eliminated from the government payroll system or from government workforce system. And we one of those things that is actually going well for this solution is we sometimes tweak it to fit every of government needs and requests, as it were. So then, of course, beyond that, we have different kind of solution, different kind of devices, other than the ones that has been mentioned before. We have as visible light facial recognition series, access to the function of both access control and time attendance. Then we want to actually do a quick look into what our company, ZKTeco, as a company, what we are up to. No, we are fully into biometric registration solution. We have been around for several years, and we actually cut across the different countries and continents. We have a smart identities solution, smart entrance control solution, are part of what we do. Our work revolves basically around biometric devices, biometric solutions, verification, and all that as our core techniques, techniques of solving human issues. And of course, we look at business sectors, business, government, hospitals, education system, and so on and so forth. Then, of course, we have expansion across several countries of the world, and we keep expanding as we are present in Nigeria to represent West Africa. We have different stages of our development processes, different, as the company progresses, there we have different technology advance. I would like to mention one in particular. In 2020, when all countries and all companies were locked down, ZKTeco is actually in the laboratory designing solution, and we came out of the COVID with several sorts of solutions that are COVID compliant. It's major invention as far as COVID is concerned in terms of solution that time compliant, and they are temperature measurement compliance, the touchless devices and all sorts. These are purely outside out of the world solution that other providers are coming to follow suit. We have different kind of Prophase series as part of our solution. The outdoor, the vandal resistant, we can actually see the solution is one of our terminal for time attendance and access control. And some of them are indoors, IP68 rating, ingress protection rating, some of them for outdoors, depending on the needs of certain customer at every point in time. We are actually there with a full solution. Then the touchless access control terminals of different sorts with different capacity and different systems. The Prophase series, the speed phase, the Elite pass, and different kind of capacity in terms of what they can offer to customers, both in the private and public sector. Then we have these two, the UFACE solution series, ME460, PFACE 202, and all sorts of different kind of solutions that we've got to offer. Then, like I said earlier, we have combination of solutions that are combined to achieve different purposes. Fingerprint, finger vein technology solution, fingerprint face multiple mode verification, fingerprint multi-palm recognition, face mode. So sometimes you have this solution combining fingerprints and finger vein all together, combining fingerprint, face, and multi-palm mode all together. And sometimes you actually have just verification for the fingerprints alone. These are combined solutions that we offer as part of our entire over 2,000 range of solution. Then we have the Silk ID recognition series. Sorry. So now with this solution, the verification is more accurate and even more dependable as compared to other solution within its range, and we have this as part of solution in the market. Then palm recognition series is where with the 3-in-1 that has fingerprint and palm combined as a mode of verification. Being able to identify finger vein across territories, across different regardless of people's background, people's origin, as it were. Sometimes you have variances in people's based on wherever you come from, you have a variation in this area. So we have a different form of verification that help out in solving different human verification solution. We have our R&D centers across different regions of the world. Over 1,000 R&D experts, to support biometric solutions, high-tech end from China to US and all that, with contactless biometric system. Then our expert team is actually across different world. We have head of our team as Jane, and is actually a frontline tech expert as far as our solution is concerned, heading our team from US and Ken broadly. And right in Africa, right in the West Africa, we have R&D team too in Nigeria, to actually provide a local support. And we have global support from anywhere, all parts of the world, as far as our solution is concerned. Then, as one of a way to step our authority within the biometric space, We have a software copyright, across different product lines, over 535, appearance patents in different solutions of 275. Then we have patent for invention 48, then utility model patents and different trademarks to our name. That's in a way to actually validate our competency within the biometric space. Automated manufacturing plants, even though we are actually planning to set one in Africa within the shortest possible time, we have ones going well for us across different continents, where at top of the world in biometric lab in terms of what different solutions that we offer. Then our West African office, as mentioned earlier, is at Victoria Island. Here we serve West African markets as a whole. Wherever solution is needed as far as biometric is concerned, from our head office, we provide the technical support, the marketing and sales support for every solution. So we are partnered with our different providers to make sure that we actually route to market in terms of quality services as far as biometric and security solutions are concerned. Then over different branches across different cities of the world, as mentioned earlier, Europe, US, India, and China. We have provided several kind of solutions to several state governments in the past, and of course, we are actually routing to stamp our feet in different government and private circles within the Nigerian space. Then our local experience center, right in Ademola, and is where we have our West African Experience Center. But here we have sample US, Russia, and of course different local experience room across every of our offices as part of our culture to give world-class experience to any customer that come around to visit our facility. So thank you so much for your time. So Thelma, over to you to round up the session. Thank you.
Thelma, you are on mute. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Taufik, for taking us through the solutions we have to address these issues around absenteeism and ghost workers. Now, today's workshop is actually with our partners, okay, because our efforts around solving this problem is not something we do by ourselves. As a matter of fact, we don't engage end users directly. Our engagement with end users has been with, our partners. In just 1 year that ZK started in Nigeria officially, I can authoritatively tell you that we are working with 6 states already. 6 states already. 3 out of the states we are working with are also, one of the states, and Thelma, used their challenges as an example in our presentation. So which again confirms that, this problem is also obvious to state government and they want to solve the problem, okay? Because if you also look at the savings, every governor's edict, every head of civil service in Nigeria today, if there's anything they want to unlock, is actually resources for developmental projects, and that can only happen if you have a productive system. So we are working with them, and we're doing that with our partners. The solutions we offer from different states, it's also a reflection of the peculiarity of their problems. Okay, so for example, in one of the northern states we are working with, it's a combination of verification, validation, integrated with their payroll. A new set of business rule was designed for them. Okay, how can we have a solution that reflects the problem and the challenges these states are facing? It's not just about copy and paste. You see that something is working somewhere, come and dump it on them. In a state we are working with, cost was a concern. Power was an issue. So what we are deploying for them now is a system that takes care of power, ruggedity, looking at the terrain where this will be implemented, okay? Then there's a question that was asked by my colleague, Uche, on how to get the union on board. How can we get them on board? The conversation on implementing this solution didn't even happen, with the government alone, because government also understands that if you really want to solve this problem, the union must understand the benefit of it. Because we have a system now that you have few people doing the work, and so many people are getting paid for doing nothing. So the union are also part of it in terms of, what the savings would lead to. And one of the reasons why, at least 2 states in the north, they know they have the obligation to increase salaries. We want to increase salaries, but let's also ensure that the people that are getting the salaries are the people that deserves it, people that are adding value to the state, not just getting salary for the sake of getting it. So Thelma, can you take us through the questions, and let's also get some of our participants to speak. Can you unmute
Okay.
Uche?
Okay, I'll go ahead to do that. So I will launch the poll for people to, fill in the poll, and as well send in their questions to us. Okay, so the poll has been launched, and I'll go ahead to unmute Mr. Uche to speak. Okay. Okay, Mr. Uche, you're free to speak now.
Hello, Uche. Are you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was taking the poll. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
Loud and clear. Good morning, Uche.
Good morning, Afo. Very well done, and Thelma and Taufik, very good presentation, very good information. Some of the comments I made were that, you guys have been doing a great job with getting your solution out there. The private sector is, of course, picking up on your solution, and they're benefiting from it because they have to meet their numbers every day, every month, so they see the direct value. And I'm sure some of the states are also interested in the solution, but with the social pressures that Thelma mentioned, about if they sack people or don't hire as many, the unions or the local chiefs or igwes or obas will start causing problems for the governors. So how do we encourage the governors or give them information that will help to strengthen their political will to implement these solutions for the betterment of everybody else? How do we give them the resources? I think if you guys offer, so I guess this is not necessarily a question, but it's question/suggestion. How do we give them the resources to respond to the unions, the obas, that tells them that, like, hey, look, we need to implement this type of thing for the betterment of everybody? And here are clear examples of how we will all win when this is put in place. You understand? So besides the equipment and the solution that you guys already have, how are you going, what can you do to bring in other information for them, to help them, strengthen their political will against those who will be fighting against it? Even the one that Taufik mentioned about some individuals sabotaging the equipment, they don't want the solutions put in place, so they try to sabotage it. So how can you guys help with that?
Thank you, Uche. Like I said earlier, our approach to this has actually been more of a need-driven position, right? We work directly with the states, to ensure that, the education, is something that they take very seriously, okay? Because to start with, when we say ghost worker, we are technically saying that these people don't exist, okay? Like the example Thelma cited, I'm talking about a project that is currently going on in the north. It actually started with going directly from emirs to emirs, local chiefs to local chiefs, about the verification. And the example Thelma cited, that people were called up for verification and nobody showed up. Okay, meaning these people responsible for the problem we're trying to deal with, they are also like, they are mindful of, how bad the situation is. Okay, and behind the scene, they are also like, doing everything possible to prevent the implementation, but also within, like I mentioned earlier. So if you have a staff strength of 30,000, now you probably will have about half of that or more than half of that that are physically available and they are doing the job. So we also have people within the organization defending and ensuring that this solution works, because I don't understand why, I alone will be responsible for what 3 people should be doing, simply because I have colleagues that are not showing up for work. So it's actually collaborative, working closely with government officials. In fact, the first #1 stakeholder we take very seriously are the unions. Governments are doing a lot of work around that. I want to use, this particular project that we worked on even before ZKTeco came to Nigeria in 2018. The Federal Inland Revenue, FRS. The decision was, from the union level to the executive level at the parastatal, that we just have to solve this problem, right? And they implemented across all their locations. Now, this project was actually delivered with, 4 of our partners, okay, because Nigeria was divided into 4 regions, because each area has its own unique peculiarity and the different public relation that needed to be handled, okay? But the good news is what has happened after implementation, which we also have information to back this up. Revenue, productivity actually went up at at FRS because of some of the things we implemented. It was directly integrated with payroll. It also included reward system for the employees directly, okay, because now they have attendance connected to appraisal. At the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, each region and each location were celebrating, the employees that are not the ghost workers now, people that exist, doing their work and available, tied to their performance in terms of what this the parastatal has achieved. So if we have this domesticated, okay, with the clear understanding that whatever you want to do, you must also understand that people will fight back. Having in mind that people would fight back means that you need to put in place measures that will ensure that it will not just be another solution that did not work. Uche.
Yeah, thanks. So that's very encouraging to hear that, because I think that's actually what will help get you guys over the edge, is that collaboration with the different stakeholders. So I definitely wish you guys the best of luck. I see the same problem. This isn't good, but we actually started reducing the amount of government work we did because of the lack of productivity we're seeing in the government space. But hopefully with the work you guys are doing, you can help to change or turn that around. So congratulations and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uche. What other questions, Thelma?
Okay, so I have a question by Mr. Martino. Okay, so for the people asking for the charts and slides, that will be shared. Mr. Martino says, my question is, what are the security measures to protect the software from being hacked by smart employees who do not like the solution? Because I have an experience of 2 ministries in my state that rejected this, that they don't want to put their works into problem and they kicked against it. So,
yeah,
Mr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for starters, our solutions are encrypted end to end. Then the second one is, apart from the fact that we actually can provide a secured server on behalf of the ministry, with our own expertise in security, right, to ensure that that server is fully secured. You also have most states now with their own dedicated server which they can use to use to provide the service that all their devices and locations will be connected to. But deploying our own solution, it comes with end-to-end encryption that ensures that, outside interference, do you understand? In man-in-the-middle attack, it's it's near impossible for what we have. So again, like I said, what we are doing is not something we do by ourselves. We'll be working directly with the state, because one of the first things we'll be looking at is what are the possible loopholes or risk areas, within the system, and how can we mitigate and guide against this?
Okay, I hope this is answered. The second question is, in a situation where the server crashes, how can the data be recovered?
Excellent questions. So when we, the way our system is structured, it actually has redundancy built in, meaning you have multiple layers of backups, right? If a particular backup is not available, you have another backup that you actually can restore from. That is one. Then the nodes, okay, the nodes of our system, right? Individually also retains data on their own. So we have instances where a particular device is down, everything you have on that device already exists on the server, or a particular information on the server is not available as expected, you are also restoring from the device. And there's something ZK is also working on now, which hopefully will be test run this year, using blockchain to actually manage our data management end to end. One of the reasons why blockchain is popular now is you have data stored across multiple nodes, right? So in terms of data recovery, we've been doing this for several years now, and data recovery was something that was taken very seriously from inception.
Okay. All right. So somebody says, how does your partners play a role, knowing the fact that the client won't come to us unless the big techs or the OEM directly?
So like I said earlier, ZKTeco is an ODM/OEM. We are original design manufacturer. We are original equipment manufacturer, right? And all our relationships are through our partners, okay? I said we are currently working on 4 states projects. Now, 6 actually, there's another 2 that we should close out in a couple of months. And we also have other parastatals. All these relationships are through our partners. Some of our partners that are integrators, some of our partners that are distributors. When inquiries comes from states directly, the very first thing we do is to profile that inquiry and look at which partner that we can work with to deliver this solution. One of the questions that I answered now came from our partner in River State, Port Harcourt, Mr. Martino. Again, like I said earlier, it is actually true partnership. I'm sure we have some of us that has direct relationship with people in power, okay? If what you have is access, we also will look at our partner that would work with you to take your access to another level. One of the 2 opportunities we are currently working on now comes with, it has the leg of introduction, and it has another partner in between working on this project as one team, and ZKTeco as the technical and ODM partner working to ensure that this project is closed out, okay? Because we understand the peculiarity of Nigerian markets, that you have people that are stronger when it comes to relationship, okay? Leveraging your relationship to solve a problem, and in the process of doing good, you're also doing well for yourself.
Okay, so great. Somebody's asking how he can become a partner. All right, so we'll share the details, or drop fixed details on how you can become a partner and sign up MOU with us so we can begin business. Okay, so someone is asking, how can I get a live demo sample of this system in our showrooms? Showcasing this is a big way to drive sales. So again, it's an offshoot of our partnership. Once we sign up our partnership agreement and our MOUs, we can move further on the next step. So I have a question from Mastery Technologies, who's also a partner. How do we handle integration, especially for a new entrant, that's a vendor, when there is perceived sabotage from previous vendor who may not want to lose retainership or cooperate to release details to enable integration?
So that's a big one. So you have an existing vendor that has a relationship and is doing everything to frustrate. So I think it actually comes from, reaching out and engaging the customer from the problem you want to solve. Okay. We've also had instances where, using FRS as an example, different partners, these are competitors that eventually cooperated, to solve that problem that exists, right? It's a bit complex. It depends on the relationship you have, the access you have, okay? You also can go the route of working with this, the person that has the relationship, which was the example I cited. For us, for example, now we don't deal with end users directly. So we have instances that partners would also have to collaborate with their partners. I know Mastery Technology, for example, now they are integrators. They do a lot of, they deploy different solutions, which they have, they have experience of deploying. So that's, your experience will be an advantage when you are approaching customers, particularly from a need-driven point of view.
All right, thank you, Afo. So we have two persons raising their hands to talk. We have an Aluko Olufemi Elias and Enujunu Timothy. So I'll unmute Timothy to ask his question. So Timothy, please go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
My name is Timothy from Westgate Technology Limited. Good morning.
Hello, Timothy. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
How is Oga Kashmir?
He's doing great, sir.
But I plan to call him today to know if he was at Cubana's Meadows burial.
Yeah, I don't think it will be there. All right, my question goes this way. The ZKTeco products, especially these biometric and others, does it accept or does it have a platform for API, that is a third-party entity, to connect into this stuff, into the software? That's one question. Then the other question is, do ZKTeco have after-sales support at every location that is being deployed? Because, when you deploy, you train the IT persons over there, but there will be a series of questions after that. Maybe the new integration is being put in place. And do ZKTeco have that after-sales support?
Thank you, Timothy, for the two questions. The first one is about API. Yes, we have APIs that you can work with. We have, in fact, we have one that is primarily for web-based time attendance. It's called Sprout API. With the Sprout API, you actually can directly integrate your own application to deliver everything you want to do on the time attendance side. We have two two of our partners now, two HR provider. They have, I don't want to mention their name because it's part of our terms of engagement. You would see time attendance as a service they deliver now, and the devices they will be using for their time attendance, which is integrated to their own software. It's actually a ZKTeco. Is actually like what is running behind is the integration of their software with ZKTeco API to deliver the solution. So API exists and it's called Sprout. And we also have APIs for different solutions we also offer. VMS, access control, and some other solutions we offer. For support, now this is very important, particularly because Timothy, you are also, Westgate is also our partner. That support is your bread and butter, right? Your bread and butter in two ways. Two ways in the sense that part of what we expect. So there's a project that was mentioned to me yesterday that was closed by Westgate, for one customer somewhere around Badagry. Is that not where the customer is? Now, providing this solution comes with after-sales support service that we expect you, and we're working with you to sign with your customers. From ZKTeco's side, every hardware that comes from us on the software or API too, you have our team on standby to support and ensure that the customer's experience, is never compromised, right? On your own side, you are also offering after-sales support, right? From a service provision standpoint, which is also revenue generation on its own, and the same way you're offering that side by side, every hardware that ZKTeco sells, we have something we call WSL, warranty on all our products, and of course on support. We have a dedicated team that is working with you. If I don't know if Timothy is a business development manager, because I know you have a relationship manager that works directly with you and ensure that all your proposals going out to partners. In fact, I know that on several occasions, referrals, you guys have done joint proposal, with ZKTeco as a technical partner. I think I know of about 3 states that Westgate is currently working on, to deliver the solution. So
sure, yeah.
Part of what will be factored at the point of consummating the relationship is to ensure that support is well covered, because what matters at the end of the day is if customers are not getting value, it becomes an issue. Thelma, questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Afo. I think that we have Aluko. Olufemi Elias is this question, and then we have somebody, Engineer Fatai from ISL Securities. We says sent his KYC. Okay, so we'll finalize on your MOU and get back to you next week. So we're going to release Mr. Aluko to talk. So Mr. Aluko, could you please unmute? Hello, Mr. Aluko Olufemi.
Good morning, our able team.
Good morning, sir. Morning, sir.
I appreciate the presentation of this morning. Now, I have 2 questions here. How do you deal with the core civil servants? Who are the key problems to the ghost workers, as well as the politicians? I know it will take time in order to be able to the politicians. Problem is the civil servant. That's one. Now, time attendance software for schools, to attend, for parents to know that their wards are actually present in the school. I had this question during the week, and I understand you are yet to evolve a software or a solution to that effect. How long will that one take? Because many schools are, and parents are also concerned in respect of this. So these are my questions.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Aluko, for the two questions. The first one that has to do with politicians and civil servants, you know, and I think I have also addressed this, you know, earlier, that one of the things the first is the political will on the leadership, right? And if you look at what we've shared so far in terms of our research and our engagement, we see that the will is there. Okay, because as a governor, right, you will be measured by your performance. And your performance also is a function of the resources at your disposal, right? So every governor wants to really unlock resources, which is very key for them. So the will is there. Now on the part of the civil servant, there was something Uche said, which is also connected to the question you asked, right? How to educate at all levels. Because for politicians too, their core interest is to deliver. Delivery for some people is also to, for some politicians, you want to get projects from government. Government can only give project to you if there is resources to deliver that project, right? So politicians will be more than willing to support a process that would help or improve government's liquidity, you know, when it comes to the funds you have to execute projects. So one of the things that we do, particularly when we are engaging government, one is from cost standpoint, that these products are cost effective. Two is also from civil servants, because like I mentioned, you have, people that are already, people are doing this work. It's just that some people are overworked, while some people are not working, and why some people don't exist at all. So getting the support of those people that are available, and most importantly, the union. The union are also main stakeholders that are part of most of the engagements we have, because at the end of the day, we all will benefit from having a productive system. On solutions for schools, as I speak to you, we are working with two different partners, right, to have a school focus attendance solution, right? Solutions that would really reflect what the schools want, you know. So these are also ongoing, and we'll do everything to intensify that we have that out as quickly as possible. Thank you, Mr. Aluko, for your contribution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Aluko. So we have someone, a last person.
Thank you.
He's raising his hand. Josh, he has something to say. So Josh, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Have you closed your poll?
No, the poll is still here.
Okay,
so
just a little contribution on the partnership. I want to put it in perspective for our partners who are tied in. So recently I had a discussion with a partner. What they focus on is support. They do support for other brands, popular brands that we already know of. And they got across to me and they're saying, okay, you know what? Is there a way we can work with you as ZKTeco so that the same support we are giving can be extended to you? And that is something that we are also open to as ZKTeco. Partnership with these people who they've signed their signature when it comes to support, and they say, okay, they want to onboard different brands. So if perhaps anybody in attendance is in this category, they specialize in support, and they say, okay, we are not currently supporting ZKTeco. We want to include ZKTeco on the list of products we want to support. We have people on ground who can give this partner the needed knowledge they need and every support they need to keep rolling out support as a ZKTeco certified support provider. So Likewise, for those who might be looking at, okay, they provide training, certification, and want ZKTeco certification and solution to be part of it. We're already discussing with a partner on that, Crystal Hills, who provides such support to installers and other solution providers that are interested in focusing on ZKTeco products. So if that is your category in this business of providing support to OEMs and other top brands like ZKTeco, yes, partnership is also available, like Afo rightly mentioned. So for that, you can also reach across to us if you have this discussion for us.
All right, and thank you, Josh, for calling our attention to that. That is something we take very seriously. Having more certified ZKTeco experts, you know, training them and ensuring that they are working with us to support our end users. Thelma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think we've done justice to the conversation around ghost workers and absenteeism. And with our own little contribution, I sincerely believe that we really can get Nigeria to be as productive as we want it to be. It's something that we are very committed to and passionate about, and we believe we will make that difference, you know, that change, and hopefully see the country we all can, that is safe and secure for everybody to live. So tell me, as our tradition, sorry, who was the first participant that joined our session today?
The very first participant that joined was Adeyemi Samson Oluwaferonmi.
Followed
by
Adeyemi Samson.
Somebody raising hand.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
please,
Somebody raising hand. Okay, so we have about a few seconds to round off. Let's allow this person.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. My name is Fumi Doin.
Oh. But now this is very confusing, right? We are seeing you as David.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
David?
Yes. There's something wrong with Zoom.
Wow.
We're seeing you as David. As a matter of fact, I private chatted David. Oh, now we have you as Fumi Adeon.
Wow.
Now we have you as Fumi Adeon. Good morning. Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sirs. All protocols observed. I know this is a big deployment software and all that, but how many in an organization can this also be deployed for?
Oh, okay.
For small businesses, looking at the cost of implementation where they don't have, it doesn't have to feed into their payroll, just the time attendance and logging in. What is the minimum that this can be deployed for? That will make sense.
Yes. Which of our partner is, I actually would like our partner to respond to this. Can we have a partner that can quickly do justice to this question asked by Mrs. Fumi Adeon? If we don't have a partner, I want Josh to respond to that, right? I mean, one of the good things about ZK, apart from the fact that we have superior technology, is also that we have cost-effective solution. Do we have a partner ready to answer that question?
Mastery Technologies is raising its hand, so I'll allow Mastery to talk. Okay,
Mastery, this is business on the table for you.
No, I already contacted SB Telecom, so I don't want, I just want to be sure that it's doable.
Oh, okay. All right. So for a simple attendance solution, we have devices that are that some of our partners are selling as cheap as 65,000 naira. One small attendance device and before 60. With installation for a small organization, I'm sure you can achieve it for less than 80,000. right?
And it will be very effective.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Josh, you can go ahead.
Okay, even on that, like my madam asked, it's need driven. If you even want for those who are tech savvy and say, okay, I want a time attendant I can connect wirelessly with my phone and all that. We have a WL10 that can serve that need end to end, and you have an app, an APK that you can download to get reports real time. And this can serve the need for people who have, as it were, a very lean budget for time attendance, and it has a solution that manages end to end, and it will serve this need accordingly, ma'am. So yes,
Awesome.
we have different needs, and we have products that serve this need.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, so let's take our last caller. That's Mastery Technologies.
Did you say your last caller? Now you're running a radio show. Open the lines for calls.
Okay, Mastery, feel free to address us.
Hello, Mastery.
Okay, sir. Thank you so very much. We actually appreciate your awesome presentation. Okay, just to add to the last question, or rather to your response to the last question, from a market survey in terms of pricing, ZKTeco pricing has been quite pocket friendly for individuals, for organizations. So I don't think we have an issue. In fact, I was engaging one of the topmost brands, even for CCTV. You know, we've come to tell them that even the ZKTeco CCTV came out earlier before, that seems to have a kind of a huge market share. But the ZKTeco, when we did a comparability, we found out that the is even asked to push and to leverage the goodwill we already have with the organizations we're really into, you know, to secure their buy-in, to start deploying such ZKTeco products that, as it were, are very good, but they are yet to capture
Yes.
It's having network issues.
you know, so a substantial target everything. So ZKTeco is good when it comes to being pocket friendly. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mastery, for that commendation. On your last remark, one of the reasons why we have you on board is actually to get this word out and to get more people on board, you know, to also, I mean, go beyond just time attendance, but to compete with our competitors, you know, in the space of surveillance, in the space of access control. You know, every day we're working on our product and to ensure that what we have as product is a reflection of our customers' needs. Thank you.
Okay, and okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
May I just add something else?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I think it's a flagship product. We also need drive as partners, because I found out in terms of this COVID compliance, even the COVID, as it were, has come, and many, though a lot of people are downplaying on the impact it's had so far, but a lot of people are still clinging to it. Even when countries are relaxing measures, so many other people that are working from home, you know, but it doesn't stop us from marketing. ZKTeco is good. I'm just saying, in summary, in terms of COVID compliance, ZKTeco is good. I found out that in the market, you know, there was a presentation or demo we went for. In fact, why they've not called us is because ZKTeco is the only one that has met about 8/8 of the features they needed is a high net worth client, a corporate organization. They needed us to have a time and attendance device that would have the palm, the finger, the facial, the card, you know, and all those features and Wi-Fi. Only ZKTeco has met that criteria, the criteria. So they've not called me because the procurement policy says you have to have at least 2 quotes or 3. So far ZKTeco has met that criteria. So in terms of the COVID compliance, I think it's something we have to champion, you know, get into the market that you are scared of the biometric, the contact. That ZKTeco has the contactless biometric device. You don't need to use your finger, just your facial capture, and you're good to go. And it does your time and attendance, then does your OT, schedule management, speaks to payroll. So there's a lot ZKTeco. I think we have to drive training our partners, training and retraining. And the business development is a lot of work on our part. Because you know, even our technical team, I got all of them to, you know, to participate, you know, in the ZKTeco webinars and all that. So it's a lot of work on our part to get ZKTeco, you know, to, you know, capture the market share, as it were.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I said this to say that our partners, we have to shout out our unique selling points and what we have that competition does not have, you know?
Exactly. Mastery Technology is actually one of the partners that we appreciate. One of the partners that are, very committed to the relationship. In fact, some of the things that we've done in the last 1 year of existence are also some of the feedbacks we got from you. Thelma, all together now, we've had like how many trainings in the last 1 year? We just finished a masterclass this week.
Yes, we've had over 20 trainings.
Over 20 trainings, and we've trained in excess of 100 and something plus installers and partners about our technology. And we still need to do more, right? Thank you so much, sir, for that contribution. We appreciate and we take it very seriously. Yes.
Okay,
Thelma.
thank you very much for the polls. The polls have ended and we'll have all 29 attendees voted. Yes. Okay, so I wish to appreciate all of us for attending the training. And before we end, I'll leave my MD to round up if he has any other thing to say.
Yes, Thelma, you are rounding up. I've been doing all the talking. Oh, sorry. Let's Taufik to round up
Yes,
for us. Taufik should round up for us.
Thank you so much for everybody that's actually taking their time this nice weekend to participate in our program. We are giving this as Mastery Tech. We actually appreciate your feedback. It's a spot on, and it's one that is actually making us want to do more. Your contributions and feedback, and of course, your zeal to the markets. We have quite some numbers of partners like this that are actually routing the market for us. So we intend to even do more in terms of what our solution, the capacity of our solution, and how to shout it to the markets. And generally, for others who are asking questions about partnerships, we are very open for discussions. You can, after this webinar, we can actually relate further to engage on what, how we actually can get this started. For those who have their discussions around this, we can conclude at the earliest possible time. Okay, so thank you so much once again. We appreciate your time. We wish to do more of this as it affects individuals, companies and corporate organizations and governments. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekends.
Thank you, everybody. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you, Thelma. Thank you, Taufik, and thanks to all our partners. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.